Yo, what's up?
Why you trying to laugh?
Yo, what's up?
Welcome to the 40 Hours a Week podcast. It's your boy CB the Problem. I got my homeboy Duke and I got my homeboy Lee in the building. And basically, we're just going to be talking about everyday things that black men go through, everyday situations between your job or just your life or how to balance financial issues. We're here to talk about all of it, so stay tuned, check in. We're dropping an episode every week, and let's see what we can come up with and get better as a black man.
I want to start off pretty much being younger generation in my 20s right now. Right now, it's been a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. Trump, I'm from Cincinnati. If y'all don't know, we from Cincinnati here too as well. So there's been some like real little racism going on right now in Lincoln Heights with this KKK stuff. What y'all think right now about this situation? You know, y'all being in y'all mid 30s and 40s right now. What y'all think how that's going right now? Like, it's just crazy. Like in my mind, I'm in my 20s. I'm like, what's going on? Like in my mind, I'm like, they still doing this? Like KKK is still real out here? Like what's going on? So
yeah, that is a lot.
I'm like, what y'all think? I'm just confused.
Like, I mean, me personally, like, I've never really seen KKK like that, like in person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because I'm from Kentucky, so like, even as racist as Kentucky can be, I've never really seen racism like that as far as the KKK having rallies or having any type of influence within the community.
Okay.
And it is something to think about because if you think about it, with a Black Lives Matter movement going on, we don't get police escorts. 9 times out of 10, we're the ones that's getting shot down or targeted.
Yep.
But with the KKK, with everything they stand for, how are they able to still obtain a police escort and have rallies in predominantly black neighborhoods and nothing happen to them or they be protected? Yeah. So that's one of the things I really question.
Yeah, my intake on it, I don't know, it can be too, like, divided. Because it's so crazy how it's two generations here, but my generation where I never even seen a KKK myself either. I heard about it. So I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy part about it. So, I mean, them displaying what they did, it just brought more like attention and more awareness. Like, this is stuff that we used to hear about, but now we're living it now.
Yeah,
so what's in the history book right now? But, if we just stick together, as a whole, as a group, and unite, maybe we can achieve a lot more.
Yeah, we most definitely can.
But just like I tell E as men, me and Lee had these conversations all the time, and it's almost like, even though we grew up in two different generations, like he has his way of thinking and I have my way of thinking. So how is it that he's never seen the KKK in his generation? Right. I've never seen the KKK in my generation. Right. But then it trickles down to his offspring, and now his offspring is starting to see KKK in his generation. So it's very awkward because
but the crazy thing about it is they call me the old head.
Yeah,
and I ain't even seen the KKK.
Yeah.
That's the
crazy thing. So like one question towards you and like the younger generation is like, your father hasn't seen it, and the generation up under him, which is me, hasn't seen it, and now it trickles down to you where you're actually seeing it with your eyes. Like, what do you think about that?
What I think about it right now, and just seeing it on social media, like in the history books, what they taught us about the KKK, what you learn, everything like that. It's like it's pretty like more of a gang than the Black Power movement. Like the Black Power, the Panther, everything like that. That was more to keep, the black culture together, feed them and protect them at all costs too as well back in the day. And just seeing the KKK still thriving, like I just feel like they're just hiding in plain sight, pretty much. Like
exactly.
Yep.
Only thing about it is, it's the only organization that they allow to put a mask on.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it like that as well as a whole. Wow, they're the only bunch of terrorists, you want to say, allegedly, if it was anybody else, allegedly they'll say they're terrorists.
Yeah.
But when it comes to them, they're allowed to get away with it. But saying that is like, they keep the mask on because they be your local judges,
Yeah.
attorneys,
Politicians.
Yep.
police.
Anybody.
So that's why they're allowed to keep the mask on.
Yep.
And talk if they want to talk.
But what's up with the police escort? Because this is the problem.
Everything playing.
Everything is playing.
Everything.
Everything is
It's
playing.
always a purpose.
It's always purpose.
You just gotta open your eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so just to answer your question, just imagine seeing that, it's just kind of, it's shocking. Like I didn't know I would ever see that on social media. Like of course we didn't have social media back in the days. You wouldn't even know.
Media.
Yep.
It was actually in our own neighborhood.
Yeah, it was in
our own state, our own city.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was just
so
shocking.
We actually like witnessed it. Like, yeah, we can go. Like, yeah, I know where this is at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like seeing it, living it right now.
Mm-hmm.
We living what they showed us in school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
But it's just a different form.
Yeah. I'm older than both of y'all.
Yeah.
So it's like I never seen this. I also heard about it growing up in school.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say. So it's like now I'm living it. Now I'm seeing it. Like, but now you got to look at it. It's 2025.
Yeah.
It's a new era. So it's a whole new generation. They ain't going for it.
Yep. Exactly. I don't want to say scared, a little like shocking about it. Just seeing those people, like, you know, what they work for, what jobs they got, and things. You never know. You know what I'm saying? Now we know they still thriving. They still out there, pushing their march or doing what they want to do. But it's just scary to see, like, okay, you guys still believe in something that has no substance. So I'm just confused on that right now. Like, you guys still believe in this, and we got all this stuff going on in 2025. These AIs or these new ways to, make money out here. Y'all doing all this, pushing, but we got all this money out here to make. What's going on?
But one thing you gotta understand is one group thrives off putting down the other group.
Okay.
So as long as the group contains their prestige and the wealth,
mm-hmm.
whoever controls the wealth controls the power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's one thing about it. If you let a certain minority get in on that power, then they get in on the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's vice versa. Whether you let them get a little power, whether you give them a little wealth. If you always notice with black individuals, the settlements never add up.
Yeah.
If you got a white guy who is wrongfully convicted, he's going to obtain a lot more money in his settlement versus somebody who is as a Negro.
Why is that?
Yeah. Come on. Because niggas are not supposed to sustain a certain amount of wealth in this country because wealth is power. Money is power.
So if my generation knows that, your generation knows that, his generation knows that, why ain't we did not yet?
Because there's nothing. Let me tell you something. The ones that end up doing something about it could care less about our skin color. Now, if there was a person of color that was in office that could possibly persuade the rules of the game
and it
in
is
our way,
like that. Like
it is,
say,
but they end up selling
se.
out because they end up understanding where their paycheck comes from.
Yeah.
And they end up understanding that in order for me to not be out of work, I must do what A and B says to do. It's just like a regular job is. Our plant manager and the guy up under him, we can't do certain shit to certain individuals because what? That could be a risk of our job. We can't say certain things to voice our opinion at the job because what? It's going to be over with. It's the same thing political. We're not slaves anymore, but they enslave us to our minds.
Yes, yep.
It's the mindset.
Yep. So do y'all believe in what Kanye said? Like, you have a choice? Like, he said that
we got a choice in what? Being what?
Feel like this. Pretty much you either got an option to hustle and get where you need to go, or you just gonna stay at a job 9 to 5, just working.
Right now, this thing we hustling right now is just modern day hustle. It's modern day slavery.
Okay. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I said again, it's so crazy how you look at it now. I'm older than both of you all. It's 3 generations sitting at this table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. You got a choice. I don't think we got a choice unless you already was born into wealth, and unless somebody giving you a handout. But ain't nobody gonna give you a handout to wealth, because everybody that's mostly wealthy want to keep it to themselves for some odd reason.
Yeah,
the people that ain't wealthy,
Most
they
definitely.
want to tell you like, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you when they get it, but when they get it, they ain't sharing it.
But because
So what is the big secret of being wealthy?
but we've always known that though. Certain groups are known to gatekeep certain information. It's a reason why it takes you 25, 30 years to unlock certain information because that's not taught to you.
Yeah.
We just taught stay out of trouble, go to school. You know what I'm saying? We make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. We're not designed to make it because we're in a system that doesn't benefit us.
Yeah.
So the fact that once you do make it and make it out, now you start unlocking and obtaining these different goals and obtaining this different knowledge. But I feel like for black people, it takes us way longer because.
But we was already tricked into it anyway.
Yeah,
That's what
for
I'm
sure,
saying.
for
Like,
sure.
We got the knowledge now, but why haven't they implemented that in the school system? If we know that, how come we haven't switched up the school system? Switched the curriculum up?
United States is not meant to empower.
Nowadays, we got so many people that's getting out of school now. There's so many off days.
Yeah.
Of school.
Yeah.
Nobody don't take that and look in that consideration.
Let's not even talk about the off days.
I'm just saying.
I work with it goes into your point. It's not even about the off days anymore. At my second gig, I work with a lot of minors. They get the option to go online. Who does that?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go online? High school. This is where you build your relationships. This is where your core set of friends come from as you get older. You mean from 14 to 18? 14 to 18 is so pivotal for anybody.
Right.
Mentally, physically, and emotionally. This is where you start to get beards. This is where you start to, your voice get deep. Your puberty kicks in. This is where you meet your first girlfriend. This is where you go to prom and get some. This is where you start to, those interpersonal relationships. So it's like from 14 to 18, you mean to tell me, forget school, and you can go online and stay in your bedroom and take classes. That's why these individuals get out here in the world and they don't have any interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
They can't say, hey, they get social anxiety.
So they basically making it easy for them.
Exactly.
Yep.
But if you don't know how to interact and speak out here, how are you going to get a job?
Exactly.
How are you going to get on a job interview?
You get a job now from knowing somebody.
Come on.
Yep.
You know somebody that knows somebody.
That's it.
And that's what they preach to our younger generation. It's all about knowing somebody.
They make it so easy. I'm not going to say, I mean, they got its pros and they got its cons. Everything got its pros and cons.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Most definitely for sure. But it's like, how much has it changed for me and you, and how much will it change for him? You know what I'm saying? Like
the only thing I see now, the difference is the technology. It's the same concept. At the end of the day, the same mind frame.
Yeah.
They making it look like, you know, the technology that we got now. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we getting it, but they been had it.
They been had it.
Yep. So we just eager to want to, you know, the technology. We want it. We want it. We want it.
Whatever makes it easier. It's all an illusion at the end of the day. That's what I'm starting to realize, you know, that in my generation, like everything's just illusion. I don't know what's real or what's fake at this point.
Yeah. That's the realest you can be because you're going to relate to a lot of young people who are trying to navigate the internet in a way where they are unable to.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You
And
don't know
that's the
what's real.
difference.
They grow up in AI.
Yeah.
And that's the difference with the, when you ask me what's the difference, that's the difference with my generation. Y'all more accessible to the internet. We didn't have it like that.
Yeah.
Our beef and our conversations was like face to face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk it out face to face. We use our brain more like memory wise, where we didn't have to rely on technology, just saving it in a a little box. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, you know, in this world now that we living in, that's the difference. Technology.
That's the thing.
We used to use our brain. You know, we used to go outside physically. If you want to talk to somebody, and we want to go over to somebody's house, we had to physically go over there and walk and talk. You know what I mean?
I kind of
more involved.
I was half in that era and I'm half out because.
But you say that, but then he could say the same thing because I was 15 when I had him.
Mm-hmm.
But you was a solid.
You see what I'm
you
saying?
was a solid individual.
So it's like he was born
a
in
solid
my
individual.
Yeah.
And somewhat, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No,
So
I
a lot of
totally
people like
get
that.
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause I had a Nokia, my first phone, but these kids getting iPads, iPhone
But
16s.
But the phones weren't getting popular until the 2000s.
But that's the thing though. I'm halfway
2000.
I'm halfway out, but I'm halfway in.
Mm-hmm.
In 2007, when I graduated high school, we had MySpace. So it wasn't a thing where no internet was available, but it was something available. My sophomore year of college, Facebook comes out. Twitter comes out.
I didn't have Facebook.
So now I'm
I had
18,
Twitter
19, 20 years old, and I'm trying to navigate social media. It's all new.
Yep.
But now, when it come to Duke, I think he just be saying that because it sounds good.
Keep going, man.
I think with Duke, it's more like he's more exposed to every single thing. He got Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. He has the whole 9 yards. He got the whole 9.
So that's what they say. I'm the old head. My generation.
But you young.
But it's like
you young. You're not.
But they say I'm the old head. But it's like if I look at it, it's like, man, y'all looking at shit because it's like I look at like these phones was 2000.
Yeah.
They was just getting popular in 2000.
2000. Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is.
That's the crazy.
You ever seen somebody come out the joint try to work one them?
Yeah,
it's the most devastating thing in my life.
They be like, how you work this?
I start crying
we used to
almost.
The snake. We had a snake.
The snake on the Nokias. And you young kids, man, y'all don't know nothing about no Nokias. You young kids, y'all don't know nothing about no kids. If anybody know, I get my wisdom from my dog in the middle, man. My dog in the middle always make sure I'm straight up. And one thing that I love about me and Big Dog relationship is he ain't scared to tell me what I need to hear. Let me tell y'all something, bro. Anybody who is out there, you need somebody who's a little bit older than you, but you need somebody who's going to tell you straight.
Yeah.
But they got love for you. Not hate. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who veers off, none of that stuff. But you need somebody who is willing to tell you what you need to hear at that moment. And Big Dog in the middle is that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's one of them individuals who he'll break you down at any time he need to, but like I tell him I appreciate that. Regardless if you want to hear it or not, get somebody around you who really care about you and you know, watches you. Somebody who is fond of your mistakes.
Yep.
You need somebody who's gonna hold you accountable. That's the only way you're gonna grow. In this life, the most uncomfortable thing is the ones that make you grow.
You know, I do, man. You know, I know you've been there for me and everything like that.
I already know, man.
I already know. I ain't want to get sentimental on her. And
hey, no, we ain't gotta do that, bro. But like, spit your stuff.
You know, my father been there. You know, he been there for me and everything like that. You know, a lot of people that I've been around in my generation, they ain't got a lot of fathers in their lives right now. It's their grandpas or their grandmas. You know, sadly to say, but. Same time, you know, my father, he been right there guiding me here, what I should do, or, you know, just being a guy just letting me know what I shouldn't do, anything like that. So I just give all love and thanks to him too as well, because he been there for me.
One thing about this podcast is, I think one thing we can do is express our emotions as black men. Yep. Like, I think we go through a lot of that where we feel like we can't.
Yeah, most definitely.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that goes on in the black community is because men can't fully express ourselves, and we choose to express ourselves through violence because we feel like that's all we know. But one thing I will do is express my emotions, even to him or my mom or whatever. Like one thing I've learned that we must express our emotions to control our emotions, because a lot of the outlandish things that we go through is because we feel like we can't control our emotions, and then this is just the back half or the backlash of us not being able to express ourselves. So I tell everybody, like, if you feel like you need to cry, you need to go in a corner and get that out.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because you don't want to take that same anger and protrude outside in the world with that. So I think the biggest flex of a black man is learning how to control your anger, learning how to control your emotions.
Facts.
That's the best thing a black man could do.
Yep, and that's having a father in my life. I was able to go through the trials and tribulations, like in the interview or going through at my job where it might be a little bit of, you know, like black on white, a little racism here and there. So
yeah.
I'm able to keep my emotions intact, but I'm also able to pass that on to other black males myself that's around my age, let them know like, hey, control your emotions when he's talking to you like this. Be professional, code switch here and there. Don't just, of course, they don't understand, what I'm saying, you being a black man and you know what I'm saying, you yelling here and there, like, calm yourself down, code switch, and let them know, what's going on in that predicament or that time, what's going on, just let them know. So that's what I'm just trying to pass down to other black men that's around my age, let them know, just control, that's all you gotta do. Just
that's all you gotta do.
You're just going through it.
That's
You ain't
all
gotta be so
do.
mad or upset, because in this world, we live in America at the end of the day, it's right, Rand, so at the end of the day, they don't hear that. They're going to use that to their advantage. Oh, you been a loud black man. Let's get him fired. Or, let's call the police. Like, you don't want to, you don't want that to happen at all. So that's how, I'm glad that having a black father in my life, able to control that.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Piggybacking off of that, it's crazy that each generation going through the same thing.
Because it's always the same thing.
3 generations going through the same thing. Or talk about we can relate about the same thing.
If you young, old, older, whatever you listen, it's always gonna be the same thing over and over and over again. It's a repeat cycle. You got 3 different generations sitting at this table, and we all got something to relate to.
Being black in America.
Yep.
But it's up for us to come together as one.
And that's the key.
And the crazy thing is, I had a conversation with him at work the other day, and I told him, I said something slick. I said, call me when all black people get on the same page together.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we all got different motives. We might be all black, but
because we all been brainwashed.
Yeah.
And once we start waking up and realize what's really going on, I think that's when we really gonna like stick together and like come together. That's when it's gonna be like, I guess, good for us being black men. Like I say, as a black man, even though we ain't getting like hit with chains and whips and like they doing, like we didn't been told stories about. Mm-hmm. They doing it in different ways. Not paying you like you need to be paid.
I got another question for you. Do you feel like we had black leaders in certain time periods in your generation, my generation? Because right now, the only person right now is Dr.
Umar. So in my generation, I can honestly say, I don't think we had no black strong leaders in my generation in the 80s. I think
in the 80s? Think about it before you.
Hey. Sure?
Look, think about it before you get into this. In the 80s, big dog. Think about it.
I mean, like
no. I'm not about to mess with you on your theory.
No. I'm talking about in a way of like the way y'all coming up, uplifting.
Ah, okay. I can see that.
You talking about actually making a change?
Yeah, I'm talking about like
somebody not just speaking it, but actually
it was like I feel like y'all say y'all feel. I feel like I was in between. My generation was in between.
Yeah.
So that the day was
like a revolution that could have been the greatest, but then it's like I don't know. Like once it hit like the early 2000s, everything like dwindled down.
Yeah.
Everything like went away.
Yeah.
It's like we could have been a generation that uplifted and like
changed
everything, and it's like one little thing happening and like everything in America just switched for black people. Like it got worse.
I think it was fear. I feel like
it's fear now.
Yeah, it's fear now. But when they killing folks back to back, if you speaking up about moving the people, and that's when they, I don't want to say allegedly come after you. You know what I'm saying? That's because I was growing up and seeing like Dr. Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or people dying left and right for trying to move the black community, as
but
one.
He wasn't dying in your era.
Yeah, he wasn't down in my era, but his legacy still living on though.
And he wasn't dying in mine.
Yeah, he wasn't down.
That's
but
the crazy part.
Yeah, but
we can talk about.
But we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. But I mean, you gotta give it to Dick Gregory. He was out there still pushing in your era. He was in the 80s.
The fact that he knows about Dick Gregory is crazy.
Because I used to.
Yeah.
But all of that falls on you being a father to him.
I wouldn't know that if I didn't. There's a lot of black men that don't have fathers in their life to teach them this. They got all them probably in jail. They ain't teaching their their sons, and the mothers trying to do their best to teach their their sons
but
to
you know
go
how
out
it is.
there.
It's always stereotype with the black man anyway.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people always look at it as it ain't no black men out here that's gonna take care of their kids. Like just looking at me, it's always like unless I got my kids that'll tell you straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a provider. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was it.
Yeah.
And then we get this stereotype. A lot of black guys that I had custody.
Yeah, we had
For mine.
Mm-hmm.
Living with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing it myself.
Yeah.
And paying child support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Come on, bro. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, no.
Even if any little things ever happen, they get like, washed under. We get kicked under the rug. That ain't nothing. You bitter because you complain. You know what I mean? So it's like,
ain't that, cause
it's just wild. And I was going through that in my generation. That's in my generation now.
And that ain't gonna change with somebody else's generation, but the fact that Duke
like,
can expound on that and be like, I know about Dick Gregory because of Pops.
Exactly.
I don't know about Dick Gregory because I've seen him on social media. I know Big Dog because my pops, he told me about that. He influenced me to go this way. He told me to do this. And that's why I say, like, regardless of what Duke gonna say, it's always gonna, this is your offspring that you poured into, bro. And it shows. So that's what I tell black men, like, regardless of the fact of whatever baby mama issues you got going on, you can still be influential in your son's upbringing. I got respect for him, but I got more respect for him because look at his seed. Look at the amount of attention and energy he's put into another human being for him to have a chance. That's all I'm saying.
Just making that impact and, being a young black man, he just made me more aware of what's going on out here in society.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to pass on to my child too as well, because you was still there while, going through those hard times. And that's, that's what I want to pass on to my son. You have your grandbaby, you have that. So I'm going to definitely pour that into him no matter what, what's going on.
You don't even feel like that.
So,
he don't even feel like that.
He
don't even feel like that. And the thing about it is, bro, like when he talk about you, bro, when he talk about you, he talk about you with like conviction. It's almost like, I don't know, bro. When a dad gets to talk about his son and the way you handle things and the way you become a man, it's just like he good. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a sense of relief because it's like, hey, I've poured myself into an individual and he's took off with it. I don't have any offspring, but Jesus Christ, if I could do at least half of what he did, I'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to see, like, not only can I see him, but I can see a product of him thrive. And I told him when the first time I met you, I'm like, Duke is different, bro. It's almost like he's 5 years older than what he actually is.
Man, I've been getting that a lot.
Because it's like, dude, he's solid. Like you got you a solid young man out here, man.
And just having fun, it just matures you, and that's why I push to as well as as far as like being your child's life. Because that can mature that child to be greater than who you were. That's the whole goal at the end of the day.
For sure. He definitely wants you to be better than him.
And that's what I want my son to be better than. So I'm going to just put him on game and be right there no matter what.
Nice.
No matter what.
Be better than me.
That's nice to always see. Because I tell people all the time, me and him, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on the forefront with it like shit. I'll be smoking gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, he'll cut allegedly. Allegedly.
You gotta say that. That's how we could.
But at the same time, I will tell you this, like, he will tell me, like, bro, you don't need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill out for a little minute.
I know smoke.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you that.
We know what you mean. You know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
He's just giving you that advice. He respects it.
It's just advice on anything I need.
Exactly.
Okay, let's take for the gym, matter of fact.
Yeah.
He goes to the gym 3 days a week faithfully. Me, I'm a every now and again gymmer.
Mm-hmm.
But he will literally sit there and tell me, "Hey, bro, I got the cheat code for you. And you younger than me. I'm telling you what I would tell my younger self. Get your butt in that gym, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it ain't 5 days a week, at least get in there and do 3 days a week because that's a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you because that's what I would do to my younger self is tell me to stay in that gym.
Yep.
And he's only telling me this information. He's
Mm-hmm.
only telling me this information because, like, look, hey, if I was your age, I would lock into this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you what not to do when you get up here with me.
Yep.
And he only 5-7 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally him in a couple years.
Yep.
So he's preparing me to be like, look, bro,
Mm-hmm.
get in this now so it won't be a thing for you later on. You're not gonna be able to think about it later on. It's gonna be a second nature thing.
Yep.
And he's telling me that because
Because a lot of people don't want to work out, man. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We work out, but then we think working out because we get up and we might go to a job. We get up and go to work, walk around, leave the house. That's the workout. We walk every day.
Yeah. Yep.
Actually going to the gym, doing using your muscles in different ways, different exercises, man. That's the difference.
Yep.
It's just like your car and stuff, man. You like your car, you love your car, you get that tuned up.
Yep.
You get a oil change, make sure that works before it break down. So your body is like the main thing, especially nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays. With the food we eat, it's crazy.
Everything, man.
Another question for you guys. I know, do we need more in my younger generation, more OGs with the mindset you have? Because it's a lot of OGs, well, so-called OGs, like they be steering some black folks, as in like, pretty much for the good, pouring back into them for the good. It'd be some OGs like they'll steer you a little bit in the wrong direction a little bit. Like I didn't been around some young guys. I'm like, what are you doing this, doing that? You know what I'm saying? Doing all this other stuff. I don't know what sort, but it ain't good. It ain't bad. You just know at the end of that road, it ain't gonna be good for them. So like, do we need more OGs to lead the young black kids in the, what I'm saying, the right direction, the good direction? Where
The thing about it is, this young generation don't listen to the OGs.
Mm.
So it ain't gonna happen.
They only listen to who's influential to them.
Like the music, like, what I'm saying?
Like
the
the
perfect world, it sound good.
It sound good.
World,
yeah, because the music these days got, it's a lot of
I'm
drill.
not even finna fake you and tell you some BS and be like, yeah, they need the OGs. They don't listen to the OGs now. They only listen to their own peers
but
now.
Why is that though? Is it because it's a disconnect between
I think it's
social media
I think it's because everything is programmed. I think it's the food, the medicines that we get, at birth. You don't know what's going on.
I think
it's a lot of little stuff. I mean, I can take it all the way there, but I don't want to take it all the way there.
I mean,
I can take it.
If you got to take it there, you got to take it there because one thing the people need to know is where a lot of this stuff stems from. Me personally,
a lot of people just need to do their research.
They have to do their research, but one of the main things where there's a disconnect between young people and OGs is because I feel like honestly the grannies be the backbone of the family.
Yeah.
When the grannies leave and the grandparents leave, their OG status leaves the family.
Yeah, but then
Go ahead. Go ahead. Because this is the problem. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Young people need something to relate to.
No, because of my generation too. Like, well, I'll just say I ain't say my generation. I'll just say my upbringing. You would think like if you look at my family, you'll be like, man, y'all, white collar, high sedity, bougie type.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a lot of, riffraff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of backstabbing. It's a lot of other stuff that a lot of people don't see, behind closed doors. So when you saying like the grandparents, yeah, I can relate because when my granddad, he was holding the family down. And then when he passed, that's when all, everything went to hell.
It gets shaky.
Yeah.
And the people that you think that had your back flip. And you like, damn, what you flipping for? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, why they mad at me?
Right.
Why you hating on me for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, you had all the attention.
You got all the anger at me for what?
I'll tell you what. You know what type of family you dealing with when somebody died. Because let me tell you something. when somebody die and they didn't have a will, and you gotta
But even if they had a will, because I
that
got
up
because I got played on both ends of the stick,
with a will and without a will.
with a will and with another will. I got played on my immediate family side with my grandparent, when my granddad passed, and then when my daddy passed, I got played too because my own people, did some old, some old,
Yeah.
Rigmarole.
Snake. Yeah. Snake stuff.
yeah, you want to use,
But
better words.
but that's
'cause the
what I'm
words I
saying.
use would be something harsher than that. Bro.
Your
Yeah.
family gets exposed
Yeah, so.
when individuals die. That's when you know who's greedy, who's selfish, who ain't really worth the relationship, because people start taking other people's belongings and feel like they're theirs, or they want to do this to gain some type of power, or everybody got different motives when it comes to somebody dying. So that's why I say you really find out who your family is when you go through turmoil.
Yeah.
When everything's peachy, it don't count.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody die and somebody's things or belongings or life possessions is up for grabs, you'll see who will reveal themselves when it comes to greed.
Okay.
And that's why I say I've always been able.
That's another thing as being a black man too. We gotta go through our own self-hatred, and we gotta go through the racism.
That's it.
And we gotta go with.
We gotta navigate life.
Like
it is.
Dealing with our women and stuff too. So it's a lot of stuff like that. Man. We dealing through a lot already.
We dealing through a lot already.
And it's like juggling.
Like
in this world. And then we gotta look at our own people. The worst part is us as a race not sticking together.
But guess what?
Us
as a race not sticking together.
As black men, like at least let all the black men hey.
But it's all a part of the propaganda.
Why y'all want to keep killing each other? Well, unaliving each other.
But because it's part of the propaganda. Let me tell you something, bro. I don't even. We don't even have to go to the ladies for this one. If all black men stood together, it would be over.
Yeah.
It would be over.
Yeah.
Your biggest op is not a white guy.
Yeah.
It's a guy that looks just like you with a totally different mindset.
Yeah.
If you pull up in a Benz.
But if we all know that, why we ain't fixing it?
Yeah. Because there's nothing to fix.
It's 3 generations.
How do you fix somebody else's mindset? How do you fix other people's mindsets? Please tell me that.
Yeah, but you got to understand generational, what I'm
3
saying?
3 generations talking about the same thing, and we ain't came up with a solution.
Because we can't. Because you can't fix other people's relationships.
Put like this. This generation, we're more aware of what's going on than our, generation before us too as well. Like, the old 80s and 70s, because we got social media now.
So that goes back to what we was talking about the first time.
With what?
With the KKK.
Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Living through that. It wasn't a bigger amount of, like, it was only what? 20, 15, 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my thing is this, the technology that we got now, everything correlates what I'm about to say. So all the technology we got now, who sent out the memo?
Yeah, who connected everybody with everybody?
Who sent out the memo?
I get what you're saying. But
how come they couldn't trace that?
This is the other side.
You can trace me in child support. I'm just saying.
Hey.
You can trace me in child support.
Hey, y'all, we're going to tap into child support on episode 2.
Yeah, episode
on
that's
episode
a
2.
Whole nother list.
We're going to tap into child support.
That's a whole nother topic.
But let me tell you something about this. In the day and age where we got AI, I think all genres are, all age groups understand that what we're used to looking at, we're not looking at no more. It's so much AI out here. They making stuff look like it's happening in real life, and it's really not.
Yeah.
You have to determine based upon your vision.
It's getting worse.
Because people want to confuse you and get you off track from what's actually going on.
Exactly. The universal, like this.
Huh?
We already was confused.
But life is nothing
Just
but a
like
big
now.
confusion.
Yeah.
We can't even
life in America is a big confusion.
Sit together now and we sit there and say, "Hey,
look,
gas up Tuesday. Don't get no more gas until next Tuesday."
Because black folk, we always been on our own agenda.
Yeah.
We have a thing called color people time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
You mean to tell me our time is different from the time zone we in right now? If everybody can look on their phone and say 3 o'clock, everybody is 3 o'clock. But if me and you get to a function, if the function started at 3, I'm gonna be here about 3:20. You're gonna be here about 3:17. Because we all have different perspectives of how we view the world.
Easy, we do.
But color people time means we've always been on our time, which means we've always had our own mindset. All slaves wasn't the same. You got folks that was running with Harriet Tubman, and then you got folks was like, I ain't with y'all.
I ain't with it.
Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. We gonna chill. Y'all think you think Harriet had everybody running?
I mean, you see him at the job. I mean, so allegedly coon.
We all,
you know,
you see him at the job.
You see him at the job.
We all slaves.
We all talking
you
about
need to pick and choose what you want to be a slave to, dog.
I mean, I ain't even gonna say what Dr. Umar said. You know, it's a little crazy. You know,
it's
getting rid of all
crazy.
of them.
It's
But
a little
hey,
crazy.
I understand where he's coming from.
But a lot of people don't agree with what he say either. So,
yeah, but is he wrong
because
though?
we got different perspectives.
Yeah, but is he wrong though? Like, if you think about it, what's been
you know how their own opinion.
But you know, think about it. How like Malcolm X got killed. His black folks, you know, was set up. You know what I'm saying? Anything. His own black folks killed him. They got, you know, they got paid off.
Yeah.
You know that money is gonna make you jump.
Now it's more money. Each generation is more money.
But everybody's willing to stack up on each other to get that money. You know, they want to step on each other. Ain't nobody here to lift up each other.
So why is that? That's the whole
because
point.
it's been like that since slavery time.
It's a dog world. Bro.
It's a dog eat dog.
You know it's a dog eat dog world.
Sister Willie lynched her. That's all it's been. You know, like ain't nobody gonna get whipped by that. But I'm gonna do my best not to get whipped. He did it, boss. He did it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that fear kicks in, and you know that killing and everything, and that money, it's gonna make you betray your own people to get where you need to go.
But then I can look
just
at it like
you
that
say,
too.
a slave in the mind.
But then you gotta look at it like this: like all that sound good, but then it's like our own people kill each other for nothing.
Nothing.
Put it like this.
It's always been
so
nothing.
It's like
it's always been
all
nothing.
that is out the door.
It's always been nothing.
Look,
once we kill each other, it's like
answer this question.
Why are we killing each other?
Yeah, but and like just answer this question. Let's say you are moving the people. These white folks come to you are like, hey, I'll give you $3 million. Stop what you're doing right now. Or that other side too as well. You know, we just gonna take your head off there. What you gonna take? You gonna take them and harass you, or you gonna take that $3 million? You gonna take that $3 million because they gonna start doing some other stuff too as well. It's so much.
If you move by money. Hey, this is 40 hours a week, man. You're looking at 3 grown-ass individuals, and we got jobs, and we on here advocating for people who are just like us. Let me tell you something, man. If you want perspective, if you want truth, if you want honesty, this is the podcast you need to be on.
Getting taken away in your body
because you ain't being at home.